Hello, this is Deborah with Black Education TV, and I'm going to be discussing the Black Panther movie. Now, there are so many different angles, so many different directions I can go with this video. As a matter of fact, I may have to break it up into more than one video because there are just so many different directions. We have proud Black people. We have the promotion of African culture. We have this excitement over a Black hero. And then one thing that I noted, we have the Black hero minus the Gentile or white damsel in distress. That's one thing that I noticed. I haven't seen anyone speak on that yet, but it just shows you there are so many different angles that I can go with this particular video. And one of the main angles is the upsetness or the anger from those of the white population who are taking the fact that this movie is projecting blacks as heroes or portraying blacks as heroes, and they are just angry by this. They're very upset that the commentary is off the charts. I mean, you even have fake troll accounts being set up where people are tweeting that they are being attacked by black moviegoers using images from old posts from years ago from people who really were attacked in other incidents, domestic attacks, but they're borrowing pictures from other people's posts and tweeting fake stories saying that they were attacked by black moviegoers, trying to add to the stir of anger that is already present in this country. So as you see, like I said, I have so many different angles I can cover dealing with this whole Black Panther movie fiasco. I think with this one, I'm going to talk about maybe a couple of those angles. Okay, I'm going to talk about how black people are at a point where seeing a black hero is something that is making a lot of people very proud. Nothing at all wrong with a black hero. When we saw Hancock, many of us cheered him on, although he was a drunk superhero with a white leading lady. So that was like, okay. You see, he had to be drunk. He had to beat up a kid or rough up a kid in the movie, and he had to have a white leading lady in order to be a black hero. So now you have one. There's negative parts coming out of the black community and positive. Now, the positive outweighs the negative because you have those who are proud to see this movie, those who are cheering it on because it is depicting the strength that black people can have when in their right minds, okay? It's showing black superheroes in a way that we are not used to seeing. And so for a lot of us, we say, okay, this is something great for our children to see and witness, that we don't always have to be the ones who are being rescued by a superhero, but we too can be the superhero. This is just a movie, okay? It's just a movie. Now, some of the negative things that I'm seeing coming from so-called black people is mostly from Hebrew Israelites. Now, a lot of our people, they'll run off and they'll see all of these other movies. You'll see them talking about it on social media. They're excited about it, and this is their favorite hero. This is their favorite show, blah, 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 right? Their favorite Marvel comic hero. And there's nothing to it other than the fact that, hey, this is a movie. I'm excited to go see it and all of this other stuff. But then when you portray an African hero, for some reason that has a lot of Hebrew Israelites sore, because they don't necessarily, a lot of Hebrew Israelites don't like the Africans. As a matter of fact, they can't stand them. They hate them. And so the fact that black Africans are being portrayed in such a powerful light, I've seen commentary about that. Now, I don't think that we should make everything about religion or about our faith or about our heritage as to say, well, they were our enemies, because many of us will go and sit up and we'll look at these Gentile movies put out by Asians, put out by white people, put out by Latinos, and, you know, just anything that comes out, fictional movies, high impact movies, action movies, dramas. We'll go and look at all of this stuff. As a matter of fact, I see a lot of so-called Hebrew Israelites watching things like Scandal. I've never watched Scandal, but I've seen so many people hyping about it and talking about it and all into it, right? But you show Africans in the light that this movie is showing them, and what do you have? Backlash from black people. It's a movie, family, and if you're going to watch other movies and not have a problem with them, I don't understand why you have such a problem with this. Now, if this movie had any type of satanic messages or anything like that, I wish someone would point them out to me, because I would be the first one to say, don't go and watch it, right? But you and I both know many of our people watch all kinds of things all the time. As a matter of fact, some people are married to the television, you see. But this movie has got a lot of people speaking, positive and negative. Now, some of the negative aspects we've seen, like I said, for some reason, it got a lot of Gentiles very upset. Very, very upset. Because the thought of a black hero has a lot of people bothered. Now, I am going to go ahead and cover some of those things just in this one video, but there was another point that I wanted to bring out, and I may do it later if I have time, if I feel like doing it. But it's just so many different angles for this movie that is unbelievable. I saw some commentary coming from this guy. I forget his name. Someone actually shared it with me on Facebook. They sent it to me as a message, and I appreciate that. But they said they thought this would be something that I would like to provide commentary on. But is a Gentile who is really upset about the whole Black Panther movie. He, in his mind, he's saying that this is going to cause black people to do things. And as you see, they've already set the stage with the fake tweets saying that whites are being attacked at the openings of these at the theaters, and that black moviegoers are attacking. So when you start fanning the flame of racism and lies and hatred and false witness testimonies about things that are not happening, you are creating an atmosphere of violence in this country and in the minds of people who are looking for something. They are looking for something to spark violence. And so when you start spreading lies saying that white women are being beat up at the theater at the opening of Black Panther, it's like, come on now. This is actually what the enemy wants. He wants he uses deception and lies and false witness to bring about things that are going to be detrimental, things that are going to cause reactions in others. They know that some people hearing this news are going to be stirred with anger just from hearing it. And sometimes people act on the anger that they are stirred with. They act on it. And so it's very dangerous to spread lies of any sort. There are no people being beat up at the movie theater after watching Black Panther. One of the people tweeted and actually said that black moviegoers were saying to them, white people aren't allowed to see this movie. That is so ridiculous, but it just shows you the mindset of ignorant people, regardless of what color you are. When you set out on a path to start spreading lies, spreading deception, spreading hypocrisy, spreading false witness testimonies about what is happening to you, what is happening to others, especially in such a racially charged environment that we have here in America, you are actually stirring up the devil. And sometimes when you stir him up, it's actually going to backfire on you. It will backfire on you. You reap what you sow. You cannot continue to do the things that we see happening in this country over something so petty as a movie. We just saw a slew of white superhero movies released. A slew of them. And you didn't see so-called black people tweeting that blacks have been attacked for going to watch these superhero movies. So why such petty behavior? Why such juvenile behavior over a movie? Does it pain you that bad? And for the gentleman that had the commentary about black heroes and black people, how that's going to cause us to act a certain way towards white people. And have we been doing that? No. What usually makes a person act out against another person is when they are being attacked by another person. Constantly. Lied on by this other person or this other group. But no one is doing that. Most of our people are going to go to the theater, watch the movie, have themselves a good time, go home and go to sleep. But to create this crackpot narrative that you fear for your life because of a movie, it actually shows how wicked and devilish you are. That's what you're actually showing, that you have entities and demons swirling around in your brain, controlling your thoughts. You're letting your evil desires and heart get the best of you. Go enjoy the film. Sit down and shut up somewhere. Nobody's after you. Everyone wants to go and have a good time. People of all races and cultures want to go and have a good time, as they do with any movie that they want to go see. Don't turn everything into a racial fight or some type of racial battle. It doesn't have to be that way. No one is out to get you over a movie. I mean, gee whiz. Some of the commentary shows that there is a fear of Black power. There's a fear of it. That is what I see happening, and it's just a movie. I remember when we went to go see Django, there were mixed couples. I remember we saw mixed couples at the theater, and everybody looked like they were having a good time until the show was over. I remember one couple where, as everyone was leaving out of the theater, there was a Black guy who had a white girlfriend or wife or whatever, and she was so angry at him. She was looking around with such anger on her face, and she had this pouty look as if he directed the movie himself. As if, how dare you bring me to see this? Now, we're just talking about a movie, and I bet she gave that Black man hell that night when they went home. Because the way she acted at the theater, she wanted everyone to know that she was upset by what she just saw on the big screen. And so, my thing is this. We're always being told to get over things that really happened in the past and things that continue to happen. We're always being told to get over it. And so what I would have to say, as far as this movie goes, maybe you all should get over it. It's just a movie. And even to the so-called Black people who are angry and upset about this film, saying Africans were our enemies too and all of this other stuff, get over it. It's just a movie. Everyone has to over-spiritualize or over-hype things in a direction when it's not always called for. Like I said, if you can show me a lot of demonic symbolism and all of this kind of stuff, and I don't mean stuff you're fishing for, because you're always going to see the shape of a diamond or a pyramid. You know, people go looking for little insignificant dots of evidence here and there, in which we don't ignore any of that. But sometimes there's nothing there. Sometimes there's nothing there. And I'm not saying that with this movie, because I haven't seen the movie, okay? But sometimes people go fishing for something that's not there because they want to be deep and there's nothing there. There's nothing to dig for in some cases. Some things are what they are. Now, the one thing that I can see with this movie right up front, I can see that the movie is showing the power of this Black warrior, this superhero, in which my husband said that the Black Panthers, and I never knew this, Black Panther has always been one of the Marvel characters. I never knew that. I always associated Black Panther with the Black Panther movement here in the U.S. I never knew that it was one of the characters of the comic books. But the only thing that I was able to see is that there's a lot of costumes, a lot of tribal clothing being worn, and a lot of just superhero type stuff going on. People leaping and flying and jumping and doing magnificent stuff as what you see in any type of comic book scenario. Again, I haven't picked it apart because I haven't seen it, but you can best believe someone's going to pick it out, pick it through, and find a satanic meaning behind it. And if that is the case, it is what it is, and I will go with what the truth is. But so far, what I'm seeing is a bunch of people whining and crying because they don't want to see black people in power, period. Not even on the big screen. It aches the hearts of some to see such a thing. And so there you have it, family. I'm pretty sure after seeing the movie, there will be so much more to say. But for now, I'm going to leave it right here. And that's my take on things. Shalom.